as a Christian and as a man is standing firm in what you believe in. In 2021, I enlisted into the military. As far as
Thank you for your service.
Runs a few companies like E3 Tech, AZ Tech, and G Tech.
Some people say you're actually a Mossad agent sitting in front of me. You were Charlie's handler and Israel killed Charlie.
You guys, this whole situation honestly shocked a lot of people. A military source is now allegedly saying that Erika Kirk's mom was spying on Charlie, and that was definitely not something anyone expected. As more details come out, people are starting to feel like everything around Erika was very carefully planned, very carefully explained, and very carefully cleaned up for the public. And now, all of a sudden, there's this claim that her own mother was quietly watching Charlie and reporting back. Of course, people are asking the obvious question right away. If Erika has been accused of misrepresenting things before, why would this be the one time she was completely honest? That's why people are going back to what Erika herself shared publicly. Back in 2022, Erika posted a birthday message for her mom, Lori France, and she painted a very clear picture. She described her mom and her husband as having a loving and close bond. She even wrote about how much she loved the way my husband loves you, calling it something special. The post made it seem like her mom adored Charlie, supported him, trusted him, and was fully part of his life. Erika made it sound warm, close, and completely supportive.
And I want to be able to have one thing left that is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents. One thing.
But now, this military source is allegedly saying that picture wasn't true at all. According to this source, Erika's mom wasn't just a quiet, supportive in-law staying in the background. She was allegedly showing up near Charlie's events, not to join in, and not to be noticed, but simply to watch. Close enough to see what was happening, but far enough to stay hidden. And this is where things start to feel uncomfortable. There are no public photos or records showing Erika's mother at Charlie's events. Nothing that clearly proves she was there. But people are now asking if that was actually the whole point. What if she was there, just far from cameras, far from crowds, and far from the public eye so no one would notice her? Close enough to observe, but distant enough to stay invisible. That idea is what people can't stop thinking about. And if the idea of watching wasn't strange enough already, people are also asking why she would even be doing that. This is where people start connecting dots, whether anyone likes it or not. Some are saying if this really happened, it probably wasn't random or simple curiosity. They think it would have been for her daughter. That's the assumption many people are making. To be very clear, everything from here is speculation. None of this has been proven, but these rumors have been online for a long time, and now people are bringing them back for a reason. Erika has been accused before by online commenters and conspiracy groups of having ties to intelligence agencies, including MSAD. Again, there is no proof of this. It's just speculation that has been around for years. But once a story like that exists, people start looking at everything through that same lens.
Some people say you were actually a Mossad agent sitting in front of me, and you were Charlie's handler and Israel killed Charlie.
Then there's another rumor people keep quietly talking about. Some claim Erika wasn't just Charlie's wife, but allegedly his handler. This has never been confirmed. It's just something people have guessed, based on her behavior, timelines, and how things unfolded after Charlie's death. But if that idea were even slightly true, people say it wouldn't be shocking if she sent someone she trusted, like her own mother, to quietly keep an eye on things and report back. And people also point to what happened after Charlie passed away. Erika didn't slowly step back or take time away from the public. She stepped forward very fast. Big decisions were made quickly. Appearances were booked almost right away. Platforms were secured. To many people, it felt like everything was already prepared in advance.
It's the little things, and I know that people who have experienced loss totally understand what I'm saying. It's the small things that just get you.
That's why people keep talking about how instead of disappearing to grieve in private, Erika suddenly seemed to be everywhere, and not in the way people usually expect from someone who just lost their husband. Online reactions have been harsh about this. People have criticized how she presents herself, saying it doesn't match what they expect grief to look like. They've pointed out her entrances at events, comparing them to WWE-style moments with dramatic lighting, big energy, and even fireworks. And people online were like, wait, what is going on here? Even her clothing choices became part of the conversation. Commenters said her outfits felt more like a rebrand than mourning, less like someone in shock, and less like someone just trying to get through daily life. And yes, grief looks different for everyone, and that part is important to remember. But when people put all these details together, many start feeling like she's been riding this wave for a very long time. Too long, according to them. And this matters more than some people realize. No matter how anyone feels about Charlie Kirk politically, even his critics agree on one thing: he was genuinely respected in military and veteran communities. A lot of that respect came from the work he did through Turning Point. He didn't just talk about service members. He actually showed up at bases and veteran events. He showed up in person. He shook hands, listened, and talked to veterans who had felt ignored for years. This wasn't a one-time visit either. He kept coming back. That's why his death hit military and veteran communities so hard. It wasn't just online comments or posts.
I just want to say, like, one of my core values as a Christian and as a man is standing firm in what you believe in. In 2021, I enlisted into the military.
So if someone was quietly hanging around that world, watching him and tracking his movements, it changes the whole situation. And now people are also bringing up the times Erika has been accused of lying, or at least times when people believe she wasn't fully honest. And it's not just one issue. Let's start with the first one. Erika has said before Charlie Kirk, she hadn't really dated anyone. She made it sound like her romantic life basically started with him. At the time, many people didn't think much of it and moved on. But later, Stephanie came forward and said Erika allegedly had 2 boyfriends before Charlie. One of them was Tyler Massey, who she reportedly dated in 2015. That's when people stopped giving her the benefit of the doubt. An old photo of Erika and Tyler together from Phoenix Fashion Week started circulating again. So when someone says they had almost no dating history, and then a past relationship shows up with a name, a year, and photos, people pause. Not because dating is a big deal. Nobody cares about that. It's because the story later sounded much cleaner than real life usually is.
When I lived out here, I was here for 5 years. I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was. Somehow getting drinks was the replacement of having coffee and breakfast. I personally would rather have coffee or brunch with someone than go. I don't drink. I find it unproductive, not because I'm holier than whatever. I just don't operate that way. But I always thought it was very strange how she would go to drinks with one guy and then go to dinner with another. So expecting to marry someone that I was blessed with, like a Charlie, you have to be the type of woman that will attract a Charlie.
Then there's what happened after Charlie's death. Erika talked about whether Charlie felt unsafe before everything happened. She said he didn't send messages saying he was scared, or that something bad was coming. But then Candace Owens came out and said that wasn't what she was told. She claimed Charlie had expressed fear before he died. Now there are 2 people sharing completely different versions of the same moment, and no one ever fully cleared that up. People didn't forget it, because once you hear 2 opposite stories, you start wondering which one is true. And now, if this military source is correct about Erika's mom watching and reporting on Charlie, this stops being about mixed stories and starts feeling like something much bigger. And that's the part Erika still hasn't explained.
Investigators say Erika Kirk's own mother, Lori Fransby, allegedly sits on Superfeed's board. The odds of that coincidence? Astronomical. One researcher called it a 22 billion to 1 alignment of interest. At the top of Superfeed sits Tyler Boyer, a senior Turning Point insider. And if reports are true, that means the data of American citizens may have been routed through a foreign registered company run by the same people shaping their politics.